glad. My name is Meg Hayden, and I am with an organization called Process This. I'm an adult with a learning disability. It's called auditory processing. Something about learning disabilities is though, it's like we walk through life and we may not look like we have some challenges, but you go through life and you're like in the classroom, you're like, I'm falling behind, I need more time. And what we have to make sure that you guys do and that we do as a community, like take a look around you. These are the people that are going to be here to support you. Take a look around. Everyone around. You guys have to talk to each other. You have to realize that you're all in the same boat and that some things are going to be harder than others, but that's okay. We have all these strengths that nobody really talks about, that are not in your IEPs, that are having, and so people have been trying. When you're younger, they try to sort of put you in a box and define you.
Yep. Break out of the box.
Right, and you break out of the box because you're a circle. Exactly, break out of that box.
This goes in here.
Exactly. Circles, exactly. So when I was younger, I had an IEP and I was pulled out of class, and for me it was really traumatizing. And then, by the time I was 28, I asked my parents, like, what was that learning disability I had back in the day? As if it still didn't affect me every day, right? But, and they told me processing, so I started going out and researching it and really understanding what my disability was. Because it's not a disability at all, right? I don't believe that I have a disability at all. But there's some things that are more challenging to me. Like, so my dad, he doesn't always get what my learning disability is, but for instance, he'll always come to me in order to build all the furniture in our house because I can do it in 2 seconds, So there's all these strengths that we have, but we also have to, we're not told them all the time, so we have to find them. And something that Troy was saying is that, when we become overwhelmed in school, we have this beautifully terrible thing that we do, that is we become isolated, right, and we don't talk to people. And so I want you to make sure that you understand that you have a community of people around you that are here to build you up and to support you. And Troy is the best example of that. And you also make sure that you want to be able to give back to your community, because that is something that we all innately do the best because we've been there. So we're like so down to help whoever needs help. Is that not true?
Yes.
Right? We have this empathy that is not, you can't score the empathy. You can't get an 85 out of 100 on empathy, but you know that when anybody ever needs help, that you are 100% down to help them.
That's
So
right.
make sure that you create that space for yourself, because college, sometimes it feels like there's nobody there to help you, but there are. And so I want to make sure that when you get that grade back, that's like, you're like, I don't know if I rocked it, but then you get it back, you're like, I got a 55, and you're like, oh, but you don't want to hide behind that grade. Okay? So you got to speak up. So if you're going to be silent, nobody's going to hear you.
That's right.
All right? Nobody's going to hear you. So you have to lift up your voice. You have to talk to people. You have to email your teacher. You have to say, hey, I bombed the test. I think I studied the wrong material, or I feel like I didn't have enough time. And that's something that, for me, I read slowly, but I talk really, really fast,
Yeah.
right? I'm like on to the next thing, and everyone's like, but you read so slowly. I'm like, get out of here. So what you want to make sure you do is that you are talking for yourself, that you are speaking up for yourself, because this is the moment to stand up, all right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the moment that you have to stand up, because you're going to have to stand up for the rest of your life, all right? But you have to make sure that you have those people around you that are supporting you, that are guiding you, and you just have to talk to people. And so, and you also just have to make sure that you laugh, because for me, it's like if I didn't laugh all the time, I would probably cry. Right? Like you got to make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
I remember in college what I would do is because the one thing when you have a learning disability is you don't have as much time as everybody else, because there's some things that takes you, like somebody could say, oh, like do these 50 questions and you're on 25 and you're like, damn, I'm 4 hours into it, like I have the rest of them to do, I don't have enough time, right? And so what you want to make sure that you do is when I was in college, I would This was terrible and awesome all at the same time. But I would email my professors, and I would email the whole entire class, and I would say, do you want to have a study group? Because I knew that studying by myself was not, no. I would get lost in the material. I would not know what's the most important thing that I need to study. What am I missing? And so I would include the professor, because it makes you look like a smarty pants.
Yeah.
And I would invite everyone, and everyone would have, you get the smartest people, and they'd all fill out their study guides, and I would I'd do a lot of the study guide, but I'd be like, okay, did you get question 1? Like, what did we get for that? And then I would fill out my study guide with my people, and I would be able to just do that much better. So I don't want you to hide behind your grade, because that doesn't represent you, right? It doesn't represent the time that you put into that. No, and so make sure that you don't give up, that you nip it in the bud. And I just want you to know that there are people around you in this community here in Philadelphia that also need your help. We host a bunch of abilities panels for high school. So if you guys ever want to speak on a panel and talk about how you overcame and how you still struggle, or how you overcame, but know that we are on another level than other people, and that the thing that, for me, the thing that I felt like I was put in a box, and this is what I was supposed to be, and this is who I was supposed to be in my life, and that's not who I am at all. Because nobody ever asked me who I was.
Broke out of the box.
Broke out of the box. So our symbol actually means the soul, which is like one of the kids was like, they always try to put me in a box, but I'm a circle, man. So just make sure that you remember that we are all connected, and that you're all beautiful in every capacity, and don't let anybody hold you down. Don't let anybody hold you down.
Can I also say something?
Of course.
I can share one of my disability with you guys. I suffer, getting back to your saying about laughing, one of my disabilities is major depression disorder. Even though everyone around me, it might sound funny and everybody's laughing, sometimes I don't laugh, but it doesn't mean I don't enjoy myself.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to smile behind the depression.
Of course.
And I also deal with anxiety.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to make myself smile sometimes. It doesn't mean I'm not happy.
Right.
It's just.
I know that.
So maybe
I
you
look
should.
like I'm not happy sometimes. I just look that way because I don't really feel anything. So I understand what you're saying.
I get little spurts of happiness, joy here and there, but then it goes back to same scenario.
Right. So that's something that's really important, is that you're coming into a new environment, you're meeting new people, and what I realize is that once again, if you don't tell anybody, I want to laugh, but I can't laugh right now. Or I'm laughing inside, but I can't. Yeah, so people are able to understand that better. And so some of the things that has really helped me with, and a lot of my friends in the community of Philadelphia, we're all adults here, is with anxiety and depression, it's sort of being able to really identify where the feeling is coming from and why it's there.
Yep.
Allows you to, and this is like a neurological pathway, okay? So this is something that's already in our brain. But if you're able to realize what the feeling is and what it's attached to, we're able to bounce back quicker, right? And so some of the tools that you can use are mindfulness tools. So if you go online and you can do a 10-minute, 5-minute breathing exercise where you sort of just let your mind go. They did a study on Navy SEALs, okay, who are in the battlefield, and they did an 8-week course on mindfulness. And I think that that CCP offers some yoga, mindfulness strategies, but that allows you to come back to level way quicker than if you don't have that. So making sure that you are identifying what the situation is, how you're feeling about it, is the first step to just becoming aware. Because everything can't make you feel depressed. Everything can't make you feel anxiety. So making sure that you realize what situation am I in that this is causing me stress.
Yeah.
But also realizing that you have the power. All right. So you have the power to be I'm not gonna go there in my head. I'm just gonna watch. My mom, she has the greatest. I love this this saying that she has, is that imagine that you're on the side of a road, right, on a highway, and you're watching all the cars pass, okay? And the cars are your thoughts. And before, when I was younger, when I was like 25, 27, like a few years ago, I would get in the car, and I would just, with my thought, I would end up in Arkansas. And I'm like, what the F am I doing in Arkansas? Like, why did I bring myself all the way to Arkansas? Like, that's crazy. Right, or like, I don't even know why I'm here. So make sure that, like, at least when you get in the car, just make sure you get out in, like, Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like, so just, you gotta, like, remember that you have control over yourself and over the way you feel, where you're like, you can be like, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna get in the car. And if I get in the car, I'm in the car, but I'm gonna forgive myself, and I'm gonna get out in Pittsburgh.
And when you get in the car, just jump out of the car.
Right.
Enjoy something to the ball, and just jump out there and go get something to the ball.
Exactly.
You will not be in Arkansas again. No.
Exactly. And one of my really good friends, he's dyslexic, has major depression, major anxiety, being able to just realize the situations that you put yourself in, that you can also take yourself out, right? And that you have control over your life. You have control over a lot of what you do and a lot of how you feel. And it doesn't mean that it goes away like that, because it doesn't. It takes time. The work is the work, right? So I want to thank you guys. If you have any questions, please contact me. My website is called processthis.org. processthis.org. And if you guys need any help at all, you need any email templates to send to your professors, because a lot of adults, a lot of educators do not understand what learning disabilities are or what disabilities are at all. Yeah. And it's okay, right? It's okay, but you have to speak up. You can't just assume that everybody's going to know who you are and what your strengths are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hon. Process this. PROCESS. This. THIS.org.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm a high school teacher out in West Philadelphia, so if y'all like ever want to come and talk to our students about just transitioning.
I'm sorry.
I'm Meg. Meg Hayden. Yep.
I used to say West Philly.
From the workshop school.
Oh.
It's a new school. It's one of the new schools.
And I also wanted to tell you that I found I couldn't really comprehend what I was reading sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned throughout my process here, I've been here for 16 months. At the West Campus, I started here. Time management and preparation. Mm-hmm. Be on time for your classes, be early, and come prepared. First day of class, come prepared. And take notes. Mm-hmm. Like me, sometimes I have trouble writing, so I have a slip that I get from the disability office for a note taker.
Yep.
So I have a note taker to take my notes, but I always make sure I look around for this person that's sitting up front where I'm sitting. Because you sit in the back, you're going to miss it.
Yep.
You got to sit up front, you got to ask questions, you got to come prepared, and you got to be on time.
Yeah.
I carry a 4.0. And the reason why I carry that 4.0 I'm so determined. I work so hard.
Yes.
And each and every one of you should do the same thing.
Yes.
Regardless, like she said, if I got a C on my midterm in sociology this past semester, summer 2. And I'm like, what? A C? How did I get that off? But I knew how I got it. I was in South Carolina on the boardwalk fishing off the pier. Drinking cold water, because I don't drink alcohol, and I was drinking cold water fishing off the pier. And I missed the review for midterm, but I got a C anyway, because I studied the notes I had. But I got it. And then challenge your grade. I was afraid, but I went to my professor. I got a B minus on a second test. But I wasn't satisfied. I said, no way. I read the questions and I read the answer. And I went to Dr. Brown and I said, Dr. Brown, the questions, my answers is right with the question. I just started off with a paragraph first. So he said, well, let me look at it. And then there was 2 other students that went up after I went up. And they reviewed it. And I don't know what they got, but he gave my test back and I got an A minus.
Yes.
You will always get points back. Like if you show up, you'll be like, listen, it just shows that you care. You have to show up for yourself.
That's
always.
right.
Always.
You have to, I'm telling you, part of your grade is class participation your time management. You have to be on time.
Yeah.
You have to participate. If you sit back there like, man, I don't know why I'm here. Man, this is corny. This is dumb. It's not. It's not corny. It's not dumb.
Yeah.
Everything is new. Is a learning. Is a process, but it's not corny.
Yeah.
Just
And the one
take-
thing I would do too on the first day of class, you go up, after class, you introduce yourself. You say, "Hi,
Yes.
I'm Meg Hayden. I'm really excited to be in this class." And you know what I would do after every single class is I would ask my professor, I'd be like, "Hey, can I walk you to your next class?" And then any information that I missed or that I needed more information on, I would say, "That was really interesting. Could you tell me a little bit more about like whatever?" So you gotta like find out. You have to be nice. All right. You gotta show up. You gotta talk to people because
Smile.
you gotta smile. It's
Gotta
like
participate.
it's not rocket science, right? It's not rocket science.
Science.
So if you have social issues too that you're like, oh, I can't be that person. Well, do it because you gotta start somewhere. You can't go your whole life saying, oh, I'm not socially like that, because I also was not socially like that. My boyfriend literally taught me how to be more social, just because I'll be like, hey. I'm like, so what's going on?
I used to
My
think
boyfriend's like, you're so awkward. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I used to think I got on my professor's nerves because I came so early
Yeah.
and I stayed late and I asked questions. And then this I had a summer 1 class and I had a summer 2 class. And both professors, I was like, this is weird. At the end of the class, they said, hey, Troy, why don't we exchange numbers? You know, maybe you can come speak to my classes in the future to encourage them.
Yeah.
And Dr. Brown looked at me this last semester and said, it's been a pleasure to have such a motivator like you in my class.
Wow.
I looked at him like, huh? I'm like, all I do is sit up front and ask questions.
Right.
But I was involved, and just get involved. You will be a great impact for your class and your classmates. People come to me and ask me questions. I'm like, I ain't that smart.
Yeah.
But you are, and I am. We are that smart. You just gotta come out the box. Come out of that box and smile and participate.
Yeah, punch that
Yeah.
box open.
And you just gotta ask questions, because the fact of the matter is that everyone else has the same questions, but nobody has,
Nobody.
those cojones to say anything. So I remember even in middle school, I'd be like, I don't get it, like, just tell me it, because I missed it, and I don't care what anybody thinks about me. It doesn't matter. Just do you.
Like she said, when you ask that question, it's about 5 other people that wanted to ask the question.
Yeah.
And after you ask, watch how many people, oh yeah, Professor, yeah, I wanted to ask that too. And, watch how many people you will encourage by you being the first one to open up your mouth.
Mhm.
So you participate, preparation, and time management is the key.
Yeah.
Thank you. I gotta go back to professional development. It was nice to meet you guys again. Ask me any questions, because I went through it all and I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anybody who understood what I went through, and it was so hard to do it by myself. But you don't have to do it by yourself.
That's right.
So,
We here for each other.
Exactly.
That's right.
Thank you. I gotta go.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks. It was nice to meet you, Troy.
You too.
All right. Have a good one, guys. Smile. Bye.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Right.
That I don't feel that. So I don't